Well, you're here because you filled out a survey about a guy, and there's sobering news. His grade is D. With this guy, it's best to stay away. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you, things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's much more likely to talk big than to actually achieve big things. He may make bold promises or claim he'll reach the top, but when it comes to hard work, learning new things, or being a team player, he just doesn't have the drive or patience. With him, it's mostly show and very little go.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he's not the type to break down or show much emotion, but he also doesn't really learn from his mistakes. Instead of feeling sad or worried, he'll just insist he's right and blame others, even when it's clear he played a part in the problem. He doesn't bounce back by reflecting or growing.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
Most people at work are likely to find him difficult and may not enjoy being around him. He tends to do things his way, often ignoring others' feelings and views. So it's common for him to end up in arguments or make people upset. In the long run, most of his coworkers will keep their distance or only deal with him when they have to.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he's not likely to feel proud or celebrate your success. Instead, he might feel threatened or even annoyed, seeing your growth as a challenge to his control or importance. He could make dismissive comments, ignore your achievements, or try to bring attention back to himself.
What if you start earning more than him?
If you earn more than him, he's very likely to feel resentful and may not hide it well. He might make sarcastic comments, downplay your hard work, or even act as if your achievements are less important than his. Over time, this kind of attitude can wear you down.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is not known for being careful with money. He doesn't really plan ahead or think about the future, so it's quite possible he'll spend without considering the consequences. This can make it tough to build a secure future together.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He's likely to pretend to be richer than he really is, spending money to show off rather than being honest about what he can afford. He may buy flashy things or act like he has it all together, but underneath he doesn't pay much attention to his actual limits. With him, you may feel pressure to keep up appearances, instead of building true financial security.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He's neither open handed nor genuinely kind. When it comes to money, he may seem generous if it helps him look good or get his way, but don't expect real warmth or thoughtful giving. His mindset is narrow and he's not truly giving either with his resources or his heart.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is more likely to be secretive and controlling about money. He doesn't easily share details or have open conversations about financial matters, and he might even hide what he's spending or earning. This can make you feel pushed aside and unsure about your financial future.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's the sort who will likely believe housework is only your job, not something to be shared. He may expect you to handle all the cleaning, cooking, and organizing, while he does very little or nothing at all around the house. With this kind of attitude, you could end up feeling overworked and unappreciated.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He's the type who will likely stand back and just supervise instead of actually pitching in with chores or taking care of diapers. He may give instructions or point out what needs to be done, but when it's time to do the work, he's nowhere to be found. Remember, true partnership means sharing the work, not leaving you to do it all.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He's the kind of man who argues just to prove he's right, not to understand your side. When you share your feelings or explain your point, he's more focused on winning the argument than truly listening to you. This can make you feel very alone in your relationship.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he's much more likely to say hurtful things or act aggressive rather than stay respectful. He might use harsh words, raise his voice, or even make you feel scared or small just to prove his point. Remember, a healthy relationship is built on respect even during disagreements.
Does he have a bad temper?
Yes, this is the kind of man who can get angry quickly, especially when things don't go his way or you challenge him. His temper can show up suddenly and he doesn't make much effort to control it or think about how it affects you. Over time, this can harm your confidence and happiness.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He rarely says sorry or takes responsibility for his actions. Instead, he will most likely blame you or someone else when things go wrong. A good partner should be able to admit when he's wrong and try to make things better, not just point fingers.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
He's not the type to easily respect your boundaries and may not truly understand that no means no. If you say you're uncomfortable or want to stop, he might pressure you, ignore your feelings, or even become upset with you for telling him no. This can make you feel unsafe or powerless in your own relationship.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
Yes, this is the kind of man who is likely to take it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. Instead of showing understanding or patience, he might sulk, complain, or even make you feel guilty for saying no. His reaction is more about his own ego than your feelings or comfort.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
With him, you may not feel completely safe, trusting that your private moments will be handled with care. He might use personal things you've shared or done together as weapons during fights, or embarrass you with careless remarks about your intimacy when he's upset. Be careful. True love means feeling safe, not worried about being shamed or hurt later.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is more likely to be easily distracted by other women rather than staying faithful. His focus tends to be on what he wants in the moment without much loyalty or thought for your feelings. You deserve a partner who values your trust and remains loyal, not someone whose eyes and actions wander easily.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
Yes, he is likely to be over possessive, often showing signs of jealousy and wanting to control your actions. He may question where you go, who you talk to, or get angry if you have friends he doesn't approve of. Remember, a loving relationship is built on trust and space, not on control and suspicion.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
Yes, with him, what might seem like protective behavior is actually a sign of a controlling personality. He may say he's looking out for you, but in reality, he uses this as an excuse to tell you what to do, where to go, and who you can meet. Remember, true care lifts you up while control weighs you down.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He will most likely expect you to do most of the work when it comes to parenting. He won't naturally see raising children as a team effort and may not step in to help unless you push him, and even then, it may feel like you're pulling teeth. You and your children deserve someone who shares the load and truly wants to be an active, involved parent.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he's more likely to lose his temper than stay calm. Instead of showing patience and understanding, he might raise his voice, scold harshly, or make the children feel scared or ashamed for making mistakes. Your kids deserve to feel safe, loved, and heard, even when they make mistakes.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
He is unlikely to truly support your role as both a mother and your own person. He may expect you to put his needs and the children's needs before your own, giving little respect to your dreams, career, or well being. In a healthy partnership, both roles, mother and individual, are valued and supported.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
Yes, this is the kind of man who might seem okay with your career at first, but could expect you to quit once you have a child. He may act supportive when it suits him or when others are watching, but deep down he believes your main role is at home. You might end up feeling pressured or even trapped, as if your own ambitions no longer matter.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He's not likely to treat your parents with real warmth. At best, he might act polite on the surface, saying the right things in front of others, but showing little interest or genuine care when no one is watching. Over time, this lack of sincerity can become clear, and your parents may feel the distance too. He is far more likely to expect your family to adjust for him, rather than making any real efforts to fit in or understand their ways.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he is much more likely to make things worse instead of handling it calmly. Rather than listening or finding a peaceful way out, he may get angry, say harsh things, or even blame you for the situation. Remember, you deserve someone who helps bring peace and understanding, not someone who adds fuel to the fire.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
Yes, he's very likely to act modern and open minded with you in private, but expect you to be the perfect traditional supportive wife, daughter in law in front of his relatives. He might not support you if his family wants you to follow strict customs or behave a certain way, and could pressure you to fit in, even if it makes you uncomfortable. You deserve someone who stands by you and lets you be yourself everywhere, not just in private.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension between you and his family, he is more likely to stay out of it or even side with them rather than support you. He may keep quiet, avoid taking a stand, or agree with his relatives just to keep his own peace, leaving you feeling alone and misunderstood. You deserve someone who stands with you openly, not just when it's easy, but when it really counts.
Say you have a conflict with his mother. What will this guy do?
He is very likely to be a mummy's boy, putting his mother's wishes and opinions above yours, especially in conflicts. If there's ever a disagreement between you and his mother, he will almost always side with her or try to avoid getting involved, rather than standing up for you or supporting your feelings. You deserve someone who respects and stands by you, even when it's uncomfortable.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
Yes, he's the kind who will likely share every detail of your fights or private matters with his mother or sister. He may run to them whenever there's a problem, telling them things that should stay between you as a couple. In a strong marriage, private matters stay private, and both people protect that bond.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Overall, based on all we know, this guy scores a D. I think it's just best to stay away. Being in a relationship with this man day in and day out can feel very lonely and exhausting. You may find yourself doing most of the work at home and with the children, while he gives little support or appreciation.